This Father's Day, one Brooklyn dad is grateful. Grateful for the doctors at NYU Langone Hospital, grateful for the support of his family, and most grateful to simply be here. And of course, to spend the day with his 1.5-year-old daughter. On News 12's Dan Serafin brings us this story.
It's a story of a father and his little girl together again after months forced to be apart.
It's not that much about me as it is about Kira and being around for her growing up, because the outlook wasn't good at all.
It begins almost 2 decades ago. Steve Quinn, then 23, diagnosed with a rare disease that creates antibodies that attack the organs, mainly the kidneys. After 3 years of dialysis, Steve had a kidney transplant at age 26. That kidney started well until 2021, when he started having difficulty breathing. It was discovered that Steve needed a new kidney and a heart transplant as well.
He was doing okay for a number of years, and then I think that last year and really the 6 months leading up to him meeting me, all of his symptoms had accelerated pretty rapidly.
When I was in the hospital doing all those final tests to get approved for the list is when they found out that I would need new lungs as well.
By the beginning of 2022, Steve was in the hospital awaiting a match, his body shutting down.
When he's in the hospital waiting for an organ, it's because he's so sick that he can't go home.
The first couple of weeks, every single time a person walked in the hospital room, you're just like, are you going to tell me there's a match? Is it? No, you just have terrible food? Great.
Days became weeks. COVID restrictions limiting visitors to the hospital, only one at a time. Children not allowed.
It was probably about 6 weeks into the hospital stay where, I kind of hit rock bottom. All I said was like, I just want to see my daughter. It's all I want. And so they arranged it. And Sarah came up with my daughter, and we spent a Sunday afternoon in the employee cafeteria at NYU. And it was absolutely wonderful and rejuvenating.
Weeks later, a match. The 2-month wait in the hospital leading to an 11-hour triple organ transplant surgery. Hospital officials say it's the first successful heart, lungs, and kidney transplant in the Northeast. However, months of rehabilitation was still ahead.
This is the hard part, after the transplant, the recovery is really all up to him and up to his effort and his will. And he had that, and we knew he did.
For Steve, now 40 years old, the rehab was especially tough, having to learn how to breathe again, motivated through it all by his daughter and the chance to see her again.
I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know if I was going to cry or what.
But finally, that day arrived. Steve left the hospital to return to his Crown Heights home, his partner Sarah, and Kira.
Kira, my daughter's, I open the door and she's there, and Patrick's like, look who it is. And Sarah's like, look who it is. And she just stares up at me like, who are you? And I was like, that's perfect. That's fine. As long as I get to see you. All I could do is I just sat down on the couch and got as close to her as possible. And I was overcome, but I was trying to not just completely lose it in front of her.
There's nothing more gratifying in medicine than to take somebody at their lowest point and to kind of renew their life in that way. And it doesn't come often.
All the doctors and nurses, they did miraculous things to me. I'm just fortunate enough to be the guy that got all that done to me.
Steve says his condition is still improving. He's getting better every day. Right now, he says he's at about 80%. On this Father's Day, he, his partner Sarah, and Kira will spend the day doing completely normal things. A walk, a nap, some rest. And Steve tells me that's perfect. I'm Dan Serafin, News 12.